Hi, this is Jack Hickey of Hickey Law Firm in Miami, Florida, and right now I'm going to present to you, hopefully in a very succinct way, 5 points, my 5 points for conducting successful Zoom conferences with your office. So here are my 5 points. Let me put that up there, 5 points. Here are my 5 points that we have learned over the last 6 weeks of being remote and working remotely here in Miami, Florida. So number one is to have a regular schedule. We have daily Zoom meetings with the staff and attorneys at my office every single day at every single day at 8:30 a.m. We have another one at 4:30 p.m. Sometimes those are not necessary, but we have every day the 8:30 a.m. conferences, and usually do have the 4:30. In fact, we just had one, and I'm just off of one right now. So that's number one. I think that's very useful. It gets everybody into the mode of, yes, there's a regular rhythm to this, even though I am home. And so the feeling of a pattern and also accountability is there, and it gets me up and working and on a regular basis at a certain time. So it's good for me, it's good for everybody. Number two, have different groups speak. In other words, it's not, what do you do at a conference every single day that's different from the day before? Sometimes I will ask the lawyers one at a time to go through certain to-do lists or issues. Other times I will ask the staff, our main paralegals, we call them case managers. Other times we will talk to the medical case managers. We have two people who are full-time employees that all they do is go through, organize, obtain medical records and bills, and to deal with doctors. And we ask them about their tasks. So that's number two, is have different groups speak at different meetings. Number three, email to the attorneys, to the case managers, to-do lists, or requests for them to create to-do lists. I think it's better if you request other people to create to-do lists, unless of course you have specific tasks for them. The other thing to do, by the way, when you email somebody is to ask them to send to you their list of accomplishments, okay? So to-do lists on the one hand or one end, and then list of accomplishments at the other end. And sometimes I think that it's as useful and maybe more useful to have the list of accomplishments because you can really see what was accomplished as opposed to just the same to-do list day in and day out. Number four is something which is more on the entertainment side, maybe camaraderie side, but that is, we do things like, at least in the beginning and first week or so, we wanted our staff and our attorneys to have their family members and their, one day we had, I invited everybody, as a matter of fact, on several days, I invited people to allow the people they live with to video bomb us and to make an appearance and to introduce them to us, because we've heard about these people, of course, over the years, and a lot of times we haven't met them, but we did get a chance to. In fact, one of my paralegals, her husband, whom we've heard about, did a video bomb, and he came to the camera and he said hello, and he started telling us about how dedicated his wife was and how she would sit there all day, every day, wouldn't get up for breaks, and it was kind of funny. He really took over the show and had great things to say about his wife and sold his wife to us, but it was all in good humor. And so that was one thing. Another day we had, I invited people to show us your pets. If you have cats, of course, cats like to get up on desks and sort of parade around in front of the camera. If you have dogs, and people really, I think, enjoyed that. Number 5, so that's number 4, to have certain events like that, or I don't know if event is the right word, but certain features like that, whether it's video bombing from family members or video bombing from pets. That was, I thought that was a good thing. We're going to bring that back. Number 5 is talk about the next meeting you'll have, even if it's 4:30 in the afternoon. The next one is 8:30 the next day. If there's something that you're going to do the next day, talk about that at 4:30. For example, today we're going to go over a case, and I told a paralegal to remind me to find my notes on something, some of which actually are hard copy, which is not typical, and not scanned into the computer, certainly, which is not typical. But I have them here, and she and I are going to go over them, over my notes, after the conference tomorrow. And I said, go ahead and schedule that, and let's make sure we do that. So always talk about the future. So those are my 5 tips for successful Zoom or other video conferencing. Not talking about the technicalities of video, proper lighting, things like that. We can talk about that at another time. Certainly, you can always contact me or email me about that. I have some specific ideas. I'm not saying everything I do is very good or perfect, but we do think about some of these things and have found some things are better than others. Anyway, this is Jack Hickey in Miami, Florida, bringing you a presentation about my 5 things that I think, 5 features I think will bring you successful Zoom and video conferences. Okay, thanks. See you guys. Stay safe.